What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. I want to start off this video saying happy birthday to both Billy and Bobby Break. They're indeed twins, so happy birthday to two good friends of mine. That being said, let's get into today's market watch, starting with a note that you may want to be following Tier Zero over on Twitter. A little birdie told me that, hey, Battles of Legend may be going up either tonight or tomorrow, so you'll want to be aware of when that's dropping, and the best way to do so and get alerts is over here. Also, they have a ton of restocks today. They've been very busy with their lower staff, and we see Legendary Duelist Season 6 getting both singles and product restocked under price of pretty much anywhere. You see Magician Souls here at 80 before you can even use code What's Good 5 for 5% off. Over here, it's 83 lowest, so it's already lower before you even get the discount. Similarly, many cards will be that way. The Dark Magicians at 25. Let's actually check in over here with Magical Hero. Yeah, towards 30, so $5 off before you've even applied the discount if you've been waiting or thinking about some of these cards. Eternity Code also is not up for that reprint train yet until next year, and we see cards like Access Code Talker here at 63. I assume Gearsu's much more popular over there. I see certain prices of it are higher, although they have Gearsu twice. Weird. Anyways, Access Code at 63 is cheaper than the $67 over here, and you get a further discount that does support the channel also when you use it. And then for Ignition Assault, I saw some surprising things. They've got Starlight Rare starting to list up, already cheaper than our market before the discount, and Lightning Storm at $100, meaning it would be around 95-ish when you're checking out. And it's free shipping worldwide over 50 pounds, and I think once you hit towards 100 some odd, it's DHL, which is Priority International, which usually is to your front door within 3 to 5 days, depending on when they get your order out. I've been getting it lightning fast from Japan, as well as Tier Zero, whenever I bothered to order something from there. So it's very nice to see this company working under these circumstances, looking out for shipping solutions, and also beating the prices of the entire market on some higher end and lower end things, so it's worth a gander over there. Also, to note, structured decks are back up in stock, including Shadol, Dinosaurs, and Sacred Beast. I know a lot of people are still hunting down that Dino structure deck. I've had comments in the section saying, my Target never got any, my Walmart never got any, what do I do? Well, maybe build your card up enough for free shipping and get yourselves 3 structure decks. You're already 3/5 of the way there for the most part. Actually, no, they usually have the structure decks cheaper. I need to look at this real quick. Let's see what they have the individual structures priced at. Yeah, $10, so after the discount, it's you're almost starting to get there, and you can, if you have a team, multiple people looking, pretty much get there with just 8 of them. Okay, not the worst thing in the world. Let's go ahead and talk about rituals, and the ritual price is going pretty crazy. A lot of the different versions of Herald of Perfection going up, most notably the Ghost Rare, all the way to $27. I feel like I've seen this buyout many times through Yu-Gi-Oh! History, and it almost never pans out. Herald just doesn't come back. But with our new ritual archetype that I commonly murder the name Drytron, well, it's pretty darn appealing to look at cards that can just be summoned with one of their resources. And similarly, Herald of Ultimateness, something you didn't want to run because of how many levels it would take, how hard it was to consistently get on the board, it's 2,000 attack. And this actually stops both special summons as well as spell trap and monster effects. Pretty much everything, but the still problem here is running machine monsters and then getting fairies to your hand. Mixing the engines, I haven't seen it perfected yet, but if people are going after Herald, you can bet they're going to start turning their attention over here, and it's a pretty good penny stock to have if something does pan out with the deck. I still have not seen a really good mesh with Herald yet that I would confidently say, yeah, play those fairy bricks, but I do think there's another deck that you'll want to head towards. Also, Ben 10 generically for rituals. This goes goes in everything, just like Ben 10. He can be anything. Ben 10, she can be anywhere. This card is going up and off the market. You see there's only 10 listings over here, and you can still get the common relatively cheap, but back up in price is the highest rarity secret rare, as well as the super rare. So people, of course, want to play hollow foils over those dirty commons. I take whatever's cheapest sometimes, especially if I'm not a big fan favorite of the deck. Usually I play and then I'm like, yeah, if I love this deck, then I'll hollow it out. So I wouldn't mind a super rare or a common, but it looks like the super is starting to head up towards $2, with you having to find ways to combine your cart with other places to get a deal. So hollow bin 10's going, gone, and still something that people might have their eyes on with Nekroz Dragma or other ritual decks. Speaking of Nekroz, I've been asked this a lot in streams, oddly. Should I get my Nekroz now or later? I would definitely say now, considering we're on the doorstep of having Dragmas here, and a lot of people are either choosing Dragma Invoked or Dragma Nekroz. And with a lot of people choosing Dragma Nekroz, you can bet they dragged their heels getting to these cards, and prices have actually cooled off on Brionac versus those $10, $12 bubble ups when Dragma were first announced. We commonly see a card is announced, a spike, a cool off. The thing is here, a spike and either a cool off, an even out, or it goes up. It goes 3 directions from there, but we're still in the pretty much maximum cool off period to where Brionac is back, where it's more hype-ish original price, like started at before it went to 12 to 10. Yeah, I would consider getting these sooner than later, and the rest of your Nekroz cards that you would want to consider playing. Penguin Hype! Oh man, the League of Extraordinary Penguins all in a single card. So we see so many versions of Penguin Soldier bought out. The Retro Pack 1 was probably the biggest suspect besides first edition starter deck Joey. And we also see the Dual Terminal, one that's actually had buyouts before. Weird to say, repeating Penguin buyouts. But we see this bought out, and somebody has freaking 25 of them, a whole collection here, if you wanted them at $3. I don't see this necessarily getting rolling buyouts, but man, Penguins have an oddly huge fan base. If you haven't seen Raxium's animation on this, I really love it. And some of the Duelist Leagues are still cheap, while others are not. I would suggest, like, hunting down the versions you want to see. Like, I peeked in on this, and you actually do have a $4, $5 copies available as a full playset, which is cheap, not versus where it was at, but in relativeness to, hey, everything's gone, well, there's still some affordable copies around here. You also have many different rare versions, and like I said, good luck with the hunt, should you be after the Penguin stuff. I find the deck cute. I hope it does get more support in the future. I don't think it's going to be taking over the meta yet, but Konami has surprises. I also want to shout out that YBM's last day on their flash sale is here. You cannot stack code What's Good 5 on these already insanely low prices. Like, this is under $60 a price for Phantom Rage. I do suggest, if you are thinking about going heavy in on sets, that you do so here with either Maximum Gold or Phantom Rage. YBM typically fulfills all of their pre-orders. Haven't heard of a cancel there. And when it comes to them, I really like my chances of getting sealed product this way this year. There's so many products I can actually say, man, I think this is a good buy and hold, like with Maximum Gold. And then core sets have been panning out very well. So if you missed out on Rise, that's shorted on allocation to vendors. That means a lot of them aren't going to have their full orders, and Rise is going to be harder to get. Same with the Megatons. The vendors that have asked for their orders aren't getting their full orders, with Tier 0 and YBM both reporting that. So I would definitely think of future sets sooner than later. They agreed to do the sale. I kind of pushed them towards it. This is my little brainchild, so do consider it. And the rest of your cart, code What's Good 5 if it's not a product on this page, including the Speed Duel Collector Box at $25, which is the cheapest I've seen it anywhere. I've seen people bragging about $28, $25 here. Definitely go ahead and check out the flash sale and the rest of the site. Now, I want more of a general kind of discussion here to round out Market Watch. Sometimes you guys like market theory. I've been pretty consistent in saying I feel like Starlight Rares pulled up the whole market, and I want to put the proof to the pudding here. Apollosa, Lightning Storm, this is the very front page. The most expensive things by the data on TCG Player, and we already see 2 Starlights here. So when people saw that, wow, all this money is being spent on Starlights, especially when it was like all the way back to where people were playing at events, when we had events, Extravagance and 3 Apollosas, and then Opelousas went off the market, the Starlight boom continued to go up. And with Starlights going up, they dragged the rest of the market with it. People started to go for extra pieces of the collector market, the prize cards went out, all this top-end stuff. And I know this may not concern the average viewer, but I want you to hear me out. All the top-end stuff going up started to pull the rest of the market with it. Then the perfect storm happened, everybody got their stimulus checks, and the people saw things were already going up, and they grabbed what they wanted to keep. So it's this perfect cycle, and then people also are stuck at home with disposable income if they still have their jobs, which a ton of people do, or even got hazard pay and extra pay. All this extra money went into the market despite us being in pretty much a recession. But we go back to 2008, that was also a recession, and Dark Arm format was the most expensive format in Yu-Gi-Oh history, but the collector market had not developed yet. Here we see a much more mature market over a decade later. In similar circumstances, yet you can't physically play at events. Our metagame surged past what I thought, but our collector market went the route that I did proclaim it would. And again, I think that Starlight Rares made people realize how much more people would spend on Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh, a third one. Sorry. I didn't mean to ignore you, Effect Alien. You're typically in the hand. So, yeah. And then a fourth one. The first page has 4 Starlight Rares in it. So, again, I think it really bolstered the collector's market. It really bolstered people's confidence in spending cash in Yu-Gi-Oh! And it definitely had this impact of dragging the rest of the market up with it. That's my opinion, though. What's your opinion on why this market is surging so much during this last year and during this specific time, even though we can't physically play at events? I think Starlight Rare started it all. That is my opinion on what came to the second boom of the collector market. The first boom was GOAT format and then people looking around at other cool old stuff. Here's our second true wave of people really tearing into it. Ultimate Rare Buyout after Ultimate Rare Buyout. We had that period of market watches where it was like buyouts every single day, like literally 202 weeks. It's crazy, but I definitely think it wasn't just the checks. It was this dragging things up and people looking at what they wanted. Alright, thanks for watching today's Market Watch. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the conversation. As always, if shopping, use that TCG player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra to support the channel directly for the cards you'd already be buying. It seriously helps out a ton. And of course, when you use code WhatsGood5 to shop sales like YBM when it applies to the sale, or just shopping the sale in general, and over at Tier 0 with tons of product and singles restocked. Definitely check both of those out.